quick heads up before we get into the episode. If you've been craving more peace and good vibes in your life, I've created something for you. It's called the Positivity Reset Map, and it's a free guide to help you shift your energy and feel more grounded and positive, one simple step at a time. You can download it now using the link in the show notes. I really think it helps you feel more supported as you continue your self-growth journey. Welcome to Love in Life, a guide to a positive mindset. My name's Lisa and I'm here to help you unlock the secrets to a happier, more confident and more fulfilling life. In the first 99 episodes, we explored not just practical tools that can elevate your mindset and your life, but also delved into the spiritual aspects like the power of crystals, universal laws and energy healing. Whether you're new or returning, let's continue this inspiring journey of growth and self-discovery together. Welcome back to Love in Life. Now you might notice that this episode is episode 111. Episode 111. How amazing is that? So you've probably already guessed what today's topic is, probably because you've seen the title of it, but I would be stupid not to talk about angel numbers today. So that is the topic of today's episode. Before we get into that, I just want to give a little shout out to my listeners in Dublin. Dublin was the town with the most downloads last week. And it's really interesting actually because for this last week, I've been really focusing at looking how I can grow the podcast a little bit more. So I've been looking at different sites that tell you where your podcast sits in the charts, like the podcast charts in different countries. And I'm excited to tell you that my podcast is 158th in the self-development podcast charts in Ireland. Nowhere else but in Ireland. And I'm really chuffed with that. I was really pleased to see myself in a chart. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. So thank you to all my listeners in Ireland. Thank you to all my listeners everywhere. Like, I would love to see myself in the podcast charts in the country where you live. So the way for me to do that is by continually asking you to share the episodes. Like if something speaks to you and you think, oh, so-and-so would like that, share it with them. If you've enjoyed an episode and you want to let me know, like, oh my God, hearing from you is the best feeling ever. Hearing how the episodes have helped you is why I do it. So that is how the podcast is going to grow, is by you engaging with the podcast. So if you listen on Apple, as 95% of you do, then leave me a review. I know I've explained this once, but if you go into like my main title page, it should give the option to leave a review. Let me just bring it up actually. Let me just check. Oh yeah, so you just don't need to be clicked into an episode. So if you click on Love in Life, a guide to a positive mindset, it's got the episodes listed, but if you scroll down, it'll probably give you like 10 episodes listed. And then underneath there, it says ratings and reviews, write a review. So I would love you to do that for me. It's my birthday next week, actually. Next Friday, so a week today, is my birthday. And that would be the best birthday present for me, would be for you to share with others. Email me and let me know if you enjoy the podcast, like join my Facebook group. Just help me in whatever way you can, help me grow the podcast. That would be the best birthday present to me. So yeah, let's do that. Join me in growing the podcast. You might have noticed my new podcast artwork, which I gave it a little bit of a zhuzh. I don't know what the right word is, but I've just revamped it basically. So as it's clearer, it's a bit more obvious what people are going to get from me. But yeah, I hope you like it. So let's get on with today's episode. I am so excited that this is episode 111. I love angel numbers. I love receiving signs from the universe. I am open to receiving signs from the universe. And that is what we're going to talk about today. So we are going to cover angel numbers, what they are, why we see them, the meaning of 111. I can't possibly go into the meaning of all of them. But obviously, considering this is episode 111 today, that is what we're going to focus on. And so the meaning of it and what it could be trying to tell you. So what are angel numbers and why do we see them? So angel numbers are repeating or significant number sequences like 111, 222, 333. They're the obvious ones, like where you see the same number repeated. But also if you see 1212, 5353, I don't know why those numbers have randomly come into my head, but those are obviously repeating numbers as well. They all have a different meaning, but they are believed to be signs from the universe, spirit guides, your higher self, like from the divine. They often appear during times of transition, during times of changes, during times of decision making, like times when you would be, I guess, looking out for signs. There is a skinny leg spider. Now, this could be a sign as well. This is interesting. I don't know why I'm whispering like you can hear me, but considering I'm talking about something quite significant and then a spider shows up, it'd be interesting to see what the spiritual meaning of a spider showing up is, and I'll have a look at that in a minute. Meanwhile, let me just get this motherfucker. Right, there we go. Okay, now if you are thinking, what the hell is she going on about? Spiritual numbers, spiritual signs, spiritual meanings, like if you think that is a load of crap and it could be a coincidence, then let me tell you a little bit about the scientific reason why we notice angel numbers. Like if you don't believe in, spiritual meanings and stuff, then that is fine. But there is also a scientific reason why these numbers show up for us. So our brains are wired to seek patterns. You may have heard of something called the reticular activating system, the RAS. This is a part of our brain that takes in information for us, and it works out what is worth noticing based on what we believe, what our subconscious believes is important. So things that are emotionally significant to us or things that we feel are important, like our brain will seek that out. So if you've been thinking about change, if you've been thinking about embarking on something new, if you've been thinking about like the next step in your life or decision that you need to make, then your brain is trained to look out for signs or patterns. So for some people, that will be things like angel numbers. For other people, that will be different things. And maybe I'll go into that in a different episode. But basically, angel numbers aren't just for spiritual woo-woo people. They are also for people who believe in the science behind things. And if this sounds more like you, then your reticular activating system, your RAS, might be pulling in those numbers because on some level, you are open to change. You're open to receiving guidance. You're open to receiving clarity. You need confirmation. So that is a really good way to look at it from a spiritual and a scientific point of view, if you need it to make more sense. Your brain is involved, but it's working with your energy, like what is going on internally, subconsciously, and that is alignment. So the science part says that we notice patterns that matter to us, that are important to us. Then the spiritual aspect says that those patterns are signs, messages. I like to think it's a bit of both. Your intuition and your brain are teaming up, are working together to guide you. Okay, so let's have a look at a little bit more at what 111 actually means. Maybe you've seen that my episode 111 as a sign for you. Maybe you feel that it's significant. So 111 is often seen as a symbol of new beginnings, of alignment with your higher self. It's often a sign that you're on the right path, that your thoughts are powerful. So be intentional with those thoughts. It's also a sign or a symbol that you're on a spiritual awakening. It's often seen by people who are deeply spiritual, or those who are in tune with their intuition, because it's seeking out validation. Does that make sense? So it's a number that asks, are you listening to your inner guidance right now? Do things feel good? Do things feel aligned? Now, 111 is obviously broken down from the number 1 and the number 11. And each of those holds its own significance. So number 1 usually symbolizes new beginnings. It symbolizes independence and it symbolizes ambition. The number 11 is often thought of as a master number, and this represents enlightenment. This represents spiritual awakening. This represents connection to your higher self or the divine. So you can see how the two combined represent new beginnings, represents the alignment with your higher self or with the divine. So I like to see them as messages of encouragement. It's like telling me, keep going, do what you're doing, carry on doing what you're doing. You're on the right path, stay positive, stay focused. So if there is something that you are trying to manifest, if there is something that you are trying to improve or bring into your life, like stay focused on it. Keep thinking of the positive outcomes that will come from you reaching this goal or you achieving this manifestation. So that is a bit about what 111 means. But the thing is, like with anything, signs can mean different things to different people. It depends on what you've got going on in your life, what you're trying to achieve. It depends on if you're open to them. Like, you're only going to see angel numbers if you're open to seeing them. And it's like once you start looking out for them, once you start being open to seeing them, you can't stop. So like when you see angel numbers or if you see any repeating patterns, what does it mean to you? Rather than necessarily looking up what the meaning is. I mean, it's great that we can look up what the meaning is, but what does it mean to you? So when you see repeated numbers, when you see repeating patterns, just stop and notice, what were you just thinking? What were you just doing? What am I being shown here? And use that moment to realign with your goals, with your values, with your intentions. So thinking about where you are in that moment of time, ask yourself, like, what am I being guided to start? What am I being guided to continue with? Where do I need to trust myself more? Am I thinking in a way that supports what I want to happen, to create? So where might you see angel numbers? Because if you're not open or if you don't regularly see angel numbers, you might be like, well, what am I looking out for? So pay attention to the times on the clock. Like it's not a coincidence if, say, 3 days in a row, you happen to look up at the clock at 11:11. That's not a coincidence. As you know, I don't believe in any coincidences in life. I believe that everything is a message, everything is a sign, and it's up to us to interpret what that means. So do you look up at the clock at a particular time? Or do you look at the clock and it's like one day you look at it and it's 11:11 and then the following day you look at it and it's like 2:22? What is it you're noticing? Just be aware and make note of those things. Number plates. Number plates are not necessarily for angel numbers, but are a good place for messages to come through. Like if something stands out to you, then there's a reason why you've been drawn to it. On receipts or, when you are going through the checkout, when you're doing your shopping, is there a repeating number on your bill, on bank statements, on phone numbers? Do you happen to look up at the oven or the microwave and it happens to be 111? Page numbers in books, like if you happen to open a book and you land on page 111. Not coincidence. Another place that you can look out for angel numbers is like people's likes, followings, views on social media. Like if you are the person who happens to look at that page when it's on that number, that's meant for you. Be aware when you are booking things like flights, hotels, appointments, like repeated numbers can often be seen in those as well. Like when you're at the deli counter and you take one of those tickets, that's a perfect place to see angel numbers. And what about in dreams or meditations? Like has some kind of message or signal come through to you in a dream? So I'll be honest, I go through phases of noticing angel numbers, and that's not to say that they're not always coming through to me. It's about when you are open to seeing them. I was noticing that I was at the end of April, I was noticing that I was seeing lots of angel numbers. And on the 29th of April, I wrote down exactly which ones I'd seen. So on that day alone, I saw, annoyingly, I didn't write down where I saw them. So all I've got is the numbers here. But I saw 111, I saw 333, and twice I saw 777. So that day was obviously a very there was something trying to come through to me that day. The following day, I also wrote down that I saw 111. So 111 is clearly something that comes through a lot for me. So I invite you to really pay attention to in those places that I have just mentioned about where to look out for angel numbers and write them down. Write down where you saw them as well, because it's a little bit annoying that I'm now looking back and I don't know where I saw those numbers. I got a feeling on one of them was a bank statement, or I happened to open up my banking app and there was a 777. It's probably £7.77. But even if it's £17.77, then there's still a repeating number of 777s because it's 1777. Do you know what I mean? So even if it's in the middle of a number, just look out for those repeating patterns and write them down. Write down where you saw them. So if you've been listening to this and you've been thinking, but I never see angel numbers, I hardly ever see them, I'd love to see them more, then I just invite you to listen to this really quick guided visualization that I've got for you. So if you are not in a position to do this right now, if you are driving, do not do this right now, but maybe come back to it at a later time. In fact, what I'll do is I will pop the timing in the show notes so you know when to come back to this, because I've got a great visualization for you now, just to allow yourself to be a little bit more open to seeing or being aware of angel numbers. So I invite you now to just quiet your mind and open up to the signs around you. So gently close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and out, and in again and out. Now feel your shoulders soften. Let your mind begin to quiet. Now imagine a soft white light surround you. And inside this light, it feels peaceful, it feels calm, it feels loving. And inside this light is your connection to the universe, to your intuition, and to the signs that are already around you. In your mind's eye, picture the number 111 glowing in front of you. It's bright, it's simple, and it's clear. You don't need to force anything. Just trust that you'll notice what you're meant to. In your head, say to yourself, I am open to guidance. I trust the signs that are meant for me will appear. Take one more deep breath. And when you're ready, gently bring your awareness back to the room. You might even start noticing some numbers today. So before we wrap up today, I'd just like to leave you with a journaling prompt, as I have done for the last few weeks, and I will pop this in my Facebook group. But just explore this in your own time. What might the universe be trying to tell me through the numbers I keep seeing? And hopefully now, if you haven't been seeing numbers now, if you do that visualization, hopefully now you will be more open to seeing signs, to receiving messages, to seeing angel numbers. What is the universe telling me? And let yourself go deep with it. What were you thinking at the time? What were you feeling at the time? What were you doing at the time? Is there something that you are being guided towards? And if you trust your intuition, then you will know the answer to that, or you will have a hunch to that. And if angel numbers have been following you around lately, maybe even 111, and today is another example of that, I'd love to see where it's been showing up for you. So make sure you take a screenshot. Why not send it over to me? Pop it on your Instagram stories and tag me in it. Like, let's get a bit of momentum going on this. Like, the more you share about what you notice, then the more that you'll be open to it and the more that will appear for you. And let's share this magic together. Let's share it with other people. If this episode resonated with you and you're ready to feel even more connected, supported, and in tune with your energy, then I invite you to download my Positivity Reset Map if you haven't already. It's a gentle guide to gently come back into your alignment little by little. So it's not overwhelming. It's focusing on one area at a time. And you'll find the link to that in the show notes. If you'd like to dive even deeper, surrounded by like-minded women who are doing the same work, then why not join Love in Life, the membership? The doors are going to be opening real soon. And at the moment, I've opened up my wait list for the people who are interested in finding out more. And those people will be the first ones to know when the membership's open again. And members say they've gone from being stressed to feeling lighter and happier every day. They have gone from feeling like totally consumed by work to literally not feeling consumed by it at all now in the same job. So if you would like a bit of that energy on a monthly basis, that is what the membership is for. Thank you, as always, for joining me. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to rate, review, or share where you can with someone who might like to hear about angel numbers. See you next week. Bye. Don't forget it's my birthday next week, and helping me boost the podcast is the best gift I could have. But I'll see you then. Bye.